Now what I'll do is I'll put out the second prompt.
Yeah, we got the first prompt,
First
so I
prompt's out
guess
there, so that should be run. Now I'll put the second prompt out there for everyone. So there's the second prompt. Oop. And I'll do it at the same time on my Copilot. Okay. Then there'll be a third prompt coming up here in a second. Get that for you. Okay, third prompt. The third prompt is about creating a table structure of the requirements of non-functional requirements. Let me put that one out
oh,
there.
don't go too fast there,
Okay, no
because there's
worries.
another document. Remember? So the first prompt here is I've finally got um, it actually working. So
Okay,
this is
good.
the first prompt, the case study, the first prompt. So here you are, Bill. Um, was it Karen that added up that joined us? Karen, I think you've been here before, but if you need to catch up and everything, then we're starting this from scratch and catching up whoever's not been here for the two previous meetings. So we're just at the first prompt. We've uploaded the case study and then prompted the first prompt. And the first prompt is asking just for elicitation questions that you can ask the 8 identified stakeholders. Okay. And you can see here that this is exactly what ChatGPT gave me. So I'm using ChatGPT. You could certainly use either of the Gen AI. So here you got, and it's broken it down kind of by topic, but by stakeholder.
Mhm.
And there's 8 identified stakeholders in that. So tell me what you would like to do. I love it when ChatGPT asks you that. So um, now the next thing is you will go and perform your elicitation, ask more than just those questions to your stakeholders in that. Now that you have performed your elicitation, if I can actually click the proper place, you're going to have elicitation notes. So this is a summary of all the conversations, and I need to put this in chat, don't I?
Yes. So we'll
So
download that and put it into our conversation.
let me get that and elicitation notes. I'm putting the PDF. I also have it in Word document. So there's that. And then for the second prompt, we have um, a very well structured prompt asking for functional requirements. Okay. So again, load the document in. You could put the prompt on the very same prompt and everything, and then let her rip.
Did you put the elicitation notes in the the chat?
I did.
Yes.
Did you
Yeah,
get it?
I didn't see it.
You should
The
see a
elicitation
PDF.
notes. I could put the, yeah, this is with everyone. So it should be there.
So we paste the text inside the prompt and then we upload the PDF,
Okay,
right?
okay, mobile check. Okay, I see it. Thank you.
Okay. So there's the Word document of it. You could use either one. ChatGPT or Gen AI can either read the Word document or the PDF. And you could see it's going to give me requirements. Requirements FR001, requirement statement there, citing source, priority, conflicts, gaps. which is exactly upgrade to plus. Trying to make me pay.
Of course.
So did it make a table? Last time it made me a table. So it is specifying conflicts, which I think our prompt asked for. And that, so
Prompts identified or conflicts identified.
so I will stop sharing there, and then we have the third prompt.
Yes.
So actually, on the third prompt, let's see what my chat GPT did here. At the end, tell me what you would like to do next. The first time I did this, the question that ChatGPT asked me when I first did this, I'm trying to get there. I think it asked me if I wanted the next set of requirements, which I think was the back office integration requirements. So yeah, so ChatGPT said, would you like to continue next with back office functional requirements, fraud review, exception handling, and integration workflows? And today it didn't ask me the direct question like that. So today it gives me, what would you like to do next? So the previous, my third prompt was yes. I answered ChatGPT's question. It's asking me a different question now. It's just asking me, what would you like to do next? So I'm going to tell it, I want the back end processing requirements. So my prompt's going to change here a little bit, but I'm still on the same path. I want these back end requirements. And there they go. So either way you get there in that, I'm sure at the end it's going to ask me, what do you want next? And that until we get through all the requirement types and everything that you can. Then I think last week we also loaded the fourth prompt.
I don't think I had the third prompt.
Well, like I said, my third prompt when we did this the first time was to answer ChatGPT's question, and it was a simple yes.
Oh, I see.
Today it was, you just saw it. It just asked me, "What do you want next?" and it gave me like 6 or 7 options, and the first one was the back end processing requirements. So
Okay.
my prompt was, give me the back end processing requirements.
Okay. Back end operational. Okay.
Or yeah, whatever you want to call it. I'll stick it out there in the chat if you something like this.
If you're using the free version of Copilot, does it limit how many documents you can attach?
Yeah, you'll run into a token limit at some point, even on GPT. Both of these, it depends on, your version of whatever GPT you're using. If it's a free one, it's going to have a limit for sure. It's probably not a very big one. Um,
I tried to attach the notes and it started to load and then it just restarted. And
you may
it was
have
like
hit
asking me to sign up.
yeah, you may have
Or
hit a
it
token
might be a
limit.
hiccup or
Yeah.
that. So just like mine was at the beginning, it was really giving me a hiccup. But even when you hit that limit, where it says, you've reached your limit or whatever, whether it's tokens or whatever, it usually resets in 24 hours. So you just sign on tomorrow and you can continue your conversation.
Okay.
Okay, so I believe we did the fourth prompt last week. And so continuing with the table structure that you provided requirements, what non-functional requirements can be extracted from the elicitation summaries? So now we've moved from functional requirements to non-functional requirements. Telling ChatGPT stay with the table structure that it has developed for you. So already we got elicitation questions we can ask our stakeholders. Then we got all different categories of requirements that we've prompted ChatGPT for.
There we go.
And I guess I got to feed this because my fifth prompt says yes. So I'm asking or answering ChatGPT's question again. So I just fed it that fourth prompt and letting it go. It's given me non-functional requirements. It's continuing to write as I speak. To show you, it's still firing away there. As soon as you can see it writing there, so it's getting through it. There's usability requirements. It'll take a minute or two, maybe, to get, and it's written a lot already, so it's not like it's hanging around or anything. You see 7 requirements there. That was security. There's performance is an A, so this is the beginning.
Security.
Security, usability, accessibility, reliability, and availability, compatibility. A lot of littleties, huh? Supportability and maintainability. Let's see if it comes up with something that doesn't have a lility at the end. Audibility. Hope you like saying lility. Top NFR conflicts. Ready for next step.
Gaps.
What would you like next? And like I said, my 6th prompt, this comes from the first time that Van and I did this, which was October, right? It was the October chapter
Yeah,
meeting.
it was October. Yeah, October chapter. Yeah.
So so prompt number 5, my document says yes. So I was just answering ChatGPT's question. Its question was, would you like to follow this with business rules and policy requirements? That's what it did when I developed this, and we did it for the first time. So now full business rule categories, use cases. So this is what it's asking me now. See, I could get into a traceability matrix in that. So let's please, we've got to be polite. Give me a full business, because I do want to get into business rules. Catalog. And it's going to put it in table format and just start writing business rules. Category, eligibility, risk. Now, to this point, we haven't used our, hi Phoebe, um, business analysis expertise to really look at this. Now that we're caught up from our first 2 weeks, we could take that time and um, start exploring the responses we are getting with Chat GPT. Oh, thanks, Bill. He put it in the chat because I forgot to. Prompt is what Bill put in the chat.
Please get, yeah, full business rules catalog. Yeah, we can, do you want to, we can share some results that came up and talk about them and see if we think they're good, bad, or whatever as far as the business rules go. Do you guys want to do that?
Sure.
I'll let me see if I can share mine for starters.
Phoebe, hopefully, Karen, hopefully you guys are caught up with us and you have the business case and you're up to this point in our process. Um, and I did mean to say to those that haven't been here for the first couple of weeks, um, we went through that in 20 minutes, where in this 3-part series, that whole thing took 2 days or 2 hours. So we spent a lot more time with what Van is about to do here, really looking at the results, using our business analysis expertise to say yay, nay, looks good, accurate, appropriate, complete. That's what we're looking at. When you get tomorrow's email, it is going to have the recordings for all 3 weeks. So you could go back to week 1 and week 2 and look how we stepped through um, all of that and everything, and taking the hour to look at each individual thing in that.
Aaron, the three of them should count as 3 CDUs, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I received an email last week for the last week meeting that I did not attend, even though I
Oh,
was
yeah.
attending
Yeah,
yesterday.
that's one of the hiccups between the integration between our website and Zoom. There's an automatic integration which works expertly if it's a one-on-one, just one, session, one
This
event.
is what this is what crossed my mind actually. I thought it would be like that. I was just waiting to confirm from today's meeting. Like after
You
today's
actually
meeting.
should only take 2 CDUs since you weren't here last week. I thought you were
But I
though.
was actually. I was here. I was here. This
Okay.
is what. So
Yeah, you
anyway,
should
who should I
each.
write to? Webinar at IIBA?
What's that?
Who should I write an email to? Is it webinar at IIBA?
An email about what?
About like I was attending. I actually attended the meeting, the webinar.
Okay, you got the email, right? All
No, no.
right,
I'm
why
just
don't you
the
hang
address.
back
Ah,
afterwards and I can answer your
sure,
question.
sure. No issue, no issue. Later.
All right. Van, back to
Okay,
you.
no worries. No sweat. Okay, so what we did was we asked it to create a business rules catalog for our mobile check deposit app. So it came back with this. We'll see how this looks. So here's a business rules catalog for the mobile check deposit application based on the case study and industry best practices. These rules define constants, validations, operational logic that will guide development and compliance. Okay, sounds pretty good. Now let's see if it makes sense compared to what we did in our case study. So that it has some rules around deposit eligibility. Only checks drawn on U.S. banks are eligible. Third-party checks payable to someone other than the account holder are not allowed. I kind of remember seeing that in there. I think that was in our case study. Does anybody remember whether or not it had U.S. banks only Or is it international? Or did we even say?
It's a regional bank.
Okay, I guess that might be why it says U.S. only.
Yeah.
Uh, Post-dated checks, stale-dated checks older than 6 months cannot be deposited. I think it might have made that one up on itself. I don't remember that one being in there, but that might be a guideline in general based on best industry best practices. Traveler's checks, money orders, and foreign checks are not accepted. Okay. Then deposit limits, daily deposit limit per customer. Did we have anything in there about that per customer deposit limit? I don't think we did, but
I
it's,
don't know.
I
It
don't
may
remember it.
be starting, small, and they can always add functionality in the future. Just, kind of get
Yeah.
the beta version or what, out there for our customers to start using.
Yeah, this is a good one. If you hadn't thought of it, it's one that it might bring to your mind to be like, oh, you know what? We should be talking about daily deposit limits because of risk and fraud, risk especially. So it kind of points it out, which is kind of neat. Um, Maximum number of checks per day. That's also not a bad idea because of fraud and risk. If you let somebody deposit 1,000 checks, and you don't have a deposit limit, you could get in big trouble real quick. Uh, Single check amount limit, another one. That's not a bad idea either. Uh, and limits may vary about by account type, personal or business. That was in our case study. I remember seeing that. So those look pretty good. I mean, these are good ideas. What do you guys think about that? No
Yep.
thoughts? Makes sense. Let's
Mhm.
continue on, see what else we got. So image capture and quality, both front and back are captured. I remember us having that in the case study. The endorsement, I think I remember seeing that in the case study. Image must be of minimum resolution. Interesting. Not sure if that's good or bad, but it would have to have something. App must validate image quality before submission. Fraud prevention, duplicate deposit detection across all channels. I remember seeing that in the case study, meaning that this, I think, is something that they've run into before on mobile check deposit apps, is somebody deposits the check in their app and then they run right over to the bank and they deposit it again and they get a double credit for it.
Dang.
So uh, and they might even change the amount on it the second time, whatever. So one you might do for 1,000, the next one you do for 10,000. You take one of them to the branch. I mean, this stuff's going to come out, but you might get away with it. It might be in your account for a few days, and you might be able to then transfer it somewhere and uh, you know transfer it to Switzerland or something like that, or to the Grand Cayman, and then they can't get it back out. Uh, so anyway, fraud prevention, that's a good one, and that was in there in our case study a little bit about that. High risk checks, large amounts must trigger a manual review. Yep, that was in the case study as well. Customers flagged for fraud risk may have reduced limits or feature disabled. I don't remember seeing that, but not a bad idea. Deposits
I
before.
think maybe that's uploading files like central bank regulations and policies for a single country may also allow to generate more specific requirements.
Very possible. Yeah, I'm not sure how they've, which countries or which customers are flagged for. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure how it comes up with this, how it would flag the customer, but okay. Processing and availability, deposit submitted before cutoff time are processed the same day. I remember seeing something like that in our case study too. I forget the exact time, but that was in there. Funds availability require follows regulation. credit, CC. I don't know what CC means. E.g. and bank regulatory CC check credit and bank policy, something like that maybe. Okay. 200 available immediately and the remainder after 2 days. I don't remember seeing that in there, but that might be a best practice thing. Holds may be applied for new accounts or large deposits. I can remember some things about that. Notifications, customer receives confirmation. Customer receives notification that deposit is rejected. Yep. Status updates are available in the mobile app of transaction history. I think that was in the case study. Compliance and record retention. Yeah, we have some things about that. I forget I don't know if our case study has specific number of years that it said. Can't remember if it was 7, but either
Yeah,
way,
there were some years.
yeah, I think it might have been 7, but it's at least it's pointing out here. It's like, hey, you do need to retain these for X years based on regulatory requirements. It may be kind of helping us out a little bit. Like we're assuming 7, and it might be, well, it depends. Different things might have different time frames. So um, maybe 7's not the right answer. Make you think about it at least. Audit trail includes a timestamp, etc., and geolocation. Yeah, I remembered something about geolocation being in the case study, if I remember right. I think there's geolocation in there. Oh, this is interesting. Comply with Check 21 Act and state banking regulations. I don't know what that is, but we would want to look into that if we were building this application. Like, I never heard of Check 21. We better look that up. Might be a U.S. federal check deposit act. Exception handling, rejected deposit, include a reason. I remember that being in our case study. Customers can resubmit corrected amounts within 24 hours. I don't remember that necessarily. Escalation process for unresolved. I do remember something about that. So I mean, what do you guys think of these business rules? I mean, as a starting point for your business rules that you would be handing out uh, to your business, these are pretty good, and they have, I think, some good possible gaps identified. Like for example, this one where the check image retention,
Or
maybe it's
or
not
the
what we
amount.
think. Yeah, and
Mm.
some stuff about the amounts. Um, they would want us to check in, do some research on this Check 21 Act and find out what that is. We would certainly want to follow our state banking regulations and check those. But yeah, pretty good. Does anybody have any they want to share and show what they got and talk about them? Did anybody get something that looks funky or a lot different than that? I'll stop sharing.
I only have 6. No, that's not true. 9 business rules. No, that's not true. It keeps going.
It keeps going.
Yes.
I only have
18, 20.
8. Well, actually, what I should say, I take that back. I have 8 categories, 27 rules. Is what it came up with.
Yeah. It's the way it's breaking it down.
Yeah, at the end of mine, like it gave like conflicting requirements to resolve. So kind of highlight the ones that they felt
Oh, okay, like conflicting
conflicting.
rules.
Yeah, and then gaps and areas needing clarification, and then give a couple suggestions.
Yeah, do you want to show it to us and we'll talk about it? Let's take a look. Mine, it didn't make any suggestions, which is kind of rare for Copilot. Usually it says, hey, it gives you 3 or 4 things that you could do next.
Okay, can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Just go up a little bit. Yeah, so I broke it down by image ingestion and validation,
Oh, yeah.
fraud detection and risk controls, core banking, integration and posting, compliance, retention, and audit, handling operational workflows, customer status updates, operations, monitoring, and performance. And at the bottom, it has like conflicting requirements to resolve.
Conflicting. Interesting. Customer experience and marketing prefer multiple channel push, email, SMS. IT may restrict to push for security or simplicity. Oh, for channel scope. Interesting. Hmm.
Now, under normal circumstances, like how long would something like this take you to create?
It would take, I would say days for me to do this, like from our case study, to build all the business rules around it that I could think of, and even working with the business. So like I would probably have, say you're doing a workshop or something like that with the business. You're like, okay, we took Aaron's case study and, we're going to expand out all the business rules around it that have to do with banking and check deposits and security and regulations. It could take days, to build 27 business requirements that are solid. I could see it taking a couple of days. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah.
Maybe more. It depends on availability
And
of the
refine all the refinement that
all the
would
refinement that you would do.
That's what I was going to say. It depends how many times you tweak it.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, look at that. It built it in like 5 minutes, well, or less, all the time it took us. I mean, from a whole, and this during the session, we're only going to spend an hour. And man, we're getting all kinds of stuff out of it. Business rules, user stories, gaps, conflicts, things, things to regulation things to think about. It's pretty powerful tool. Now, some of it's going to be is going to be a little off track, I think. Like there's going to be some good and some bad. Some things like that, whatever that example I had of whatever that check 21 federal regulation or whatever. I don't know if that exists or not. That might be a hallucination. Who knows? But
But it became a
but
starting point
yeah, it
to
definitely
work
opens
from.
your eyes. Like, hey, if it's nothing, then I would just take that off the list and not worry about it. But it may have a point. So, but anyway, so that's a good one. I mean, it's interesting. Hold durations and posting windows.
And that makes a good point you bring up there or allude to, Van, is about you can always ask Gen AI to cite its sources.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah, you can. Yeah, and see where it got that idea from. Yeah, good point.
and that may help you identify when it is hallucinating.
That's true. Yeah, you can see where it's getting its info from, if it's a reliable source or not.
We ready for the next prompt?
Yeah,
Sure.
let's go for it. Yeah, I'm ready if you guys are. Anybody else want to
yeah,
share anything before we do the next one?
ready to go.
Let's do it.
Thanks, I'm fine.
So you mentioned a second ago, Van, so it's in the chat now. Um, some of us work in Agile. We don't do requirements in that. We use user stories with acceptance criteria. So let's ask Gen AI to translate those functional requirements, which it gave us several, different categories. Um, let's ask it to translate that to user stories with acceptance criteria. Let's take a look at what we get back. If I can find my ChatGPT.
It's not cooperating with you very well today, is it?
Now it's been doing fine after I got it all shut down and
And restarted it.
started, and now it's
That's good.
operating correctly.
Yeah, I think your AI already started vacation the
Ah,
holidays.
Hey, I got one. I got a micro credential on AI.
You do?
Yeah,
Which
Same
one
for
was
me.
it?
it's from Scrum Alliance because unfortunately IIBA is not interested in um,
In AI, still.
what was that?
IIBA not interested in AI courses.
Yes,
Unfortunately.
we're doing a
Unfortunately.
micro credential on AI, and they're going. PMI's done it, Scrum Alliance has done it, and I'm sure there's a lot more out there that have already done it. IIBA, you're behind the times. So,
I
but
hope you
anyway,
can. I hope you can push for them
I already
to
had that
adapt.
discussion with them. They basically have said no,
Yeah,
not
fell on
interested.
deaf ears. Yeah.
Mm,
And I don't understand that point in that. I mean, it is the hottest topic in the BA community right now. Why IIBA is not willing or wanting to support that, don't know. But that's for a conversation outside of an event like this. So we will just move on.
We can sign a petition if you wish.
I
I would be among the
won't
first
get into
unions.
petitions either.
Yeah. I don't know if they'd like that.
um,
all right.
I'm going to share what I got
Yeah,
back.
what'd you
So
get
I did my
back?
prompt. So customer facing user stories. And, it first told me I can go up a little higher. Told me, here's the categories I'm going to give you: customer facing, back end, fraud and risk. So, and then it just does it. So I want to process a as a mobile banking customer, I want to process a mobile check deposit feature so that I can deposit checks digitally without visiting a branch. And give me Gherkin um, format for the acceptance criteria. Given when then, that's called Gherkin.
Okay.
Go Gherkin.
Yeah, that was the man's name who invented this. So the given when then um, format and that. Given I'm logged into the mobile app um, when I navigate to the deposit section, then the mobile check deposit option is visible. Given my account is eligible, when I select the mobile check deposit, I am taken to the deposit workflow. Given my account is ineligible, when I select a mobile check deposit, then I see a message explaining why I cannot proceed. All look very good to me in that. So some of it might be a little ambiguous. They may want um, the exact wording of this message. That's what my developers always want. Give me exact wording, and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, it's given me back good results as a customer. I don't like the word customer. It should say, check mobile deposit customer or something. Customer's too broad. That's where I would tweak. I just use my business analysis skills to say that's not good enough. And I would tweak the word customer to be something more specific. And as they teach you in Agile, if there's multiple roles that can do this function, you should choose the one that does it the most often. And if there's not a most often, just pick one. You don't want to say as a mobile deposit customer or as a teller, name two or three roles. Just pick one. So as a customer, I want to choose which eligible account receives the deposit so that the funds go into the correct account. And they've given up on Gherkin in the acceptance criteria, which I wouldn't do that personally. If I'm starting with Gherkin, I'm staying there. If I didn't start with Gherkin, um, I may do one ruling in Gherkin, but there has to be a specific reason that I'm changing the cadence, and that again, your business analysis skills come into play.
Does that format have a name, like how Gherkin has a
Gherkin,
name? Yeah, the other
that
one.
Gherkin is the given when they what this format,
Yeah,
this
does that one? Yeah, does that have a name
it's
for
just
that
a
format?
statement.
Okay.
There's nothing I know of that, it's
Mhm.
just acceptance criteria. And it's simply a statement. Accounts ineligible for mobile deposits are not displayed. So yeah, when is I can okay. So that's kind of a negative test. If you're not eligible, you won't even see the app or the function within the app. The system rejects accounts not in good standing. Users can select only from eligible accounts. I'm not sure that.
Choose which eligible account
So this is
receives the
all kind
deposit.
of the negative test, right? That, if I'm not eligible, I just can't do it. Well, where's the positive test for this? If I am eligible, how should it act? That's so again, here's business analysis expertise coming into play saying, I need a positive test. Those three are negatives. I need a positive test that says I am eligible. I can get to the deposit workflow and I can do a deposit and it goes into my account. That's the big one. The funds appear. I get my funds. Okay. Anybody else? Let's see what you got.
How many total did you have? How many stories total?
2, 3, 4. There were 6 in the functionality. Then it does back office, and it goes to US 101 now. User story,
Oh
I
yeah.
guess.
So you're starting.
There are 4 there. Fraud and risk. Now I'm into 200s. There's 4 there. Posting and core integration user stories. I got 3. So it's by category. And that, so, excuse me.
So I only got 14.
Hmm. I got 15.
Are you are you using Copilot?
Yeah, Bill and I are using Copilot. We're
That's
using the same
weird.
enterprise version. Although we would get totally different results because I don't know what our temperature is set on our model and things like that. So
Hmm.
even if you did
Mm,
back-to-back
I
requests, like
got
I did them back-to-back, I'd get different results each time because
Hmm.
the temperature is, I'm
Sure.
sure it's at least middle on our setup.
I
So
got 18 on GPT, and it did not
18,
even mention Gherkin. Yes, and it didn't even mention Gherkin, and
yeah.
it did not went to back office store users. It says that if the customer facing are okay, then it will proceed with generating the others.
Ah, I got you. Interesting. Mine are all customer facing as well. It's all, and it's because
Yeah.
I asked it to go from the functional requirements, and then
Hmm.
we have another section in our conversation about back office requirements. So, if you were to say, "Yeah, I want to see the back office ones," it would go to that section of our conversation, I assume, and then give you the back office ones. I don't know what it might do. It might be interesting to see what that gives you. Uh, Mine
Yeah.
gave me a fairly
Well,
nice looking table of user story, uh, functional ID that it ties to, and acceptance criteria. No gherkin, just a table. I don't know. What do you want to show? I can show mine if you guys want to see it.
No
Yeah.
Gherkin.
No gherkin for me. I'll show you what this one came back with. So from Copilot, And
Oops.
it says specifically customers facing. So yeah, and I think it's because we said the functional requirements. If we would have just said requirements, then I think it might have included the back office as well. But since it's just functional, it's not including back office. So uh, it gives you a functional ID, a user story. Uh, it starts off with, whether it works on Apple or Android. Uh, and I remember that being in that's part of our functional requirements from up above is it has to work on Android and non-Android apps. Uh, then it goes into capturing the images, real-time feedback on whether or not you can do the deposit based on the image quality, and so on and so forth. If we go all the way down to the bottom, if I can show it, yeah, see what the last one says, just out of curiosity. And then at the end, real-time notifications about my deposit status so that I can stay informed. Push notifications sent when the deposit is submitted, accepted, held, or rejected. That's pretty good. Notification includes status of next steps if available. As user, I want to re-authenticate before submitting a deposit so my transaction is secure.
You're not sharing anything, are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Whoops.
Yeah,
I
you're
thought
talking to things like we should be following you.
Sorry.
I thought it
I
was just
I
me.
have to hit share. I'm not used to
Bill,
Zoom very much. You have to hit share twice. So,
Bill asked a question in chat.
No,
shoot, Bill.
you know what? I meant to put that into Copilot, and I accidentally put it in
Oh, you
chat.
put it in chat. No worries.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
Oh,
did you put
okay.
in
And
chat? You
and
want
that's where I was going with it, Bill, is if it just gives you a list, like mine gave me a list in the business rules, whether it's requirements or rules or user stories, you can always just ask, your Gen AI to say, put this in a table. You can
Yep.
specify exactly
Sure.
what columns you want in that table.
Yeah, you could say provide a ready to import CSV file with it, Excel, and we'll put it into a table. But yeah, so not bad.
It worked.
And I think last week, if I remember correctly, we just copied the stuff right out of um, ChatGPT and pasted it into Excel, and it formatted the columns, did everything just fine. So
It'll do that
um,
too. Yeah, it's
you can always ask it to provide you um, a table or an Excel download file, or you could just copy and paste. All right. We got 4 minutes left here, Ben. So I
yeah, I
don't
don't
want to go into any further. Actually, that is the last prompt I had for this exercise.
yeah,
But
no
you can
worries.
see, I mean, we talked about and we asked ChatGPT for elicitation questions, then functional requirements, then non-functional requirements. Translate those to user stories, or I forgot business rules were in there.
Hmm.
Then to translate the functional requirements to business rules or to user stories with acceptance criteria. And it gave us all of that. Now, in this exercise, we didn't do it, but in our next one, the manufacturing one that we actually did earlier this year, or this month at our chapter meeting, um, we asked it to provide a diagram, one of those business analysis models that we always draw in that. So you could get a lot, and Gen AI, whichever tool you use, it can be an excellent assistant for you that speeds up your time. Like Van was saying, it might take me 2 days to do this and that, and Gen AI did it in a minute, or two. So it can
Absolutely.
certainly cut down your work, make you faster, make you more indispensable to your organization.
This just makes us more agile.
Bring in the
Yep.
agility.
That's right.
Yep.
So that's what we were trying to accomplish with this
Thanks a lot.
series that we're going through. Now we will continue. We've now done the second um, business scenario case study at our chapter meeting was back on November 19th. We're taking 10 to 15 minutes of each of those meetings and going over a new case study, and we're prompting ChatGPT for more information. And we will get into new areas, new diagrams that it can draw for us, and explore different things that it can assist us with in our business analysis task. That is going to continue into 2026.
Okay, great.
We've got ideas now for 8 case studies. We've only done 2. And then any others that Van comes up with.
Also, Van is
There
the
you go.
one creating them
I
from
put him
scratch.
on the spot.
No,
With
no.
for mine, but I'm welcoming anybody who wants to write a case study for us and use this in this activity that we're doing. Also, Van and I, will be back in 2026 to do this 2-3 week scenario because 10 minutes, the first time we did it, I had 3 people, tell me I want more time to explore what we're doing and understand a case study before I prompt ChatGPT, see what I get, and really evaluate the results I'm getting from ChatGPT. Thus, Van and I are doing this to give us that time. We expanded that 10 minutes to 3 hours now. Um, so that's our purpose for this multi-week activity to really use our business analysis skills to really look how we interact with Gen AI, um, to make us more indispensable to our organization. I call it job security.
Sure.
I've heard people out there, and I still hear the resistance in the community about, oh, I'm going to get replaced by Gen AI. And I will tell you, you will not get replaced by Gen AI, but you may get replaced by a business analyst who knows how to use Gen AI. So don't get left behind, get used to it. You can put that on your resume too. And I fully intend to update my resume and said, not only have I used it in the business and that, I've taught other business analysts how to, effectively use Gen AI. So
At your companies, have you guys like when people are hiring, is that like a new criteria now? Like that you're familiar with these tools?
that's going to be different company by company. I don't know if our company actually asks that in the interview process.
Yeah.
How much experience you have with Gen AI or that. I certainly expect that many companies will start asking that if they're not already. So be prepared for it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's going to be coming up. More conservative companies probably aren't asking that right now, that are not secure about their use of AI. But as AI becomes more secure and enterprise solutions like Copilot, where your data is pretty secure, uh, it allows you to open up the window to really use an AI. And really, it's going to be, I think, in all business areas, not just business analysts. I think many other business areas as well, like financial accounting, uh, marketing, things like that. Like if you're a marketing person, you should probably be starting to learn how to use generative AI to help you with your marketing campaigns and things like that. If you're not, like Aaron says, other marketing professionals that know how to use AI are going to outdistance you really quick. So it's kind of like when Excel came out and people were using adding machines, you better put that adding machine away and you better start learning how to use Excel.
What was the old accounting thing that had the marbles, that you
Oh, the abacus.
Okay,
The
Yeah.
I have
abacus.
one actually.
Yeah,
yeah,
put away
just
the
like get the
abacus
calculator out.
and
Put
get
the
that
calculator
calculator out.
away, get your computer out.
So
um,
I think it's
Yeah.
similar. I think it's a similar situation.
So yeah, when a prospective employer has an option of, Steven uses Gen AI and he could get this done in a matter of 15 minutes, or I'm going to hire Aaron who's going to take 2 days to do it. Who do you think they're going to hire?
Yeah, more efficient
Um,
employee.
so that's where I'm saying, you may get replaced by a business analyst that knows how to use Gen AI. Somebody's still got to be there to prompt Gen AI. It doesn't just offer you answers. And also evaluate, is it hallucinating? Or are the results that we get back appropriate for my scenario? That's where your business analysis skills come in. All right, we're a little over time. Does anybody
Yep.
have any questions before we sign off? Karen, Amid, Stephen, you're
Yeah,
all
thanks,
good?
guys. Yeah, thank
Hope
Thank
you.
you so
you
much for
Yeah.
the
enjoyed.
great webinar.
Thanks for joining
Yeah,
us today.
Yeah, I think Stephen and Amid been here all 3 weeks in that.
Yeah.
Hope you really got a lot out of it. Karen, I'm not sure were you here all 3 weeks, but anyway,
No, I missed the other 2 weeks, but I am familiar with using like Chat GBT to create user stories. So I have played with that just on my own, and
good,
so
excellent.
I haven't
And
uploaded. So
then,
this is good.
yeah, the Bluegrass IIBA chapter meets. Our chapter meeting is on the third Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Uh-huh.
And we start with 30 minutes of networking time. We've now taken 10 to 15 minutes of that time to do an exercise like this. Again, only 10 or 15 minutes where we upload a document of a case study. It's a new business scenario. And every month it will be a new business scenario. We've done bank deposit for the banking industry. We've done manage, what was it, manufacturing.
Yeah.
It was an
Inventory. Yep.
inventory ordering system,
Hmm.
reordering, and that. What's the next one we got? It wasn't insurance. It was higher education. It was a wait list management process. So if a course is full and you start developing wait list, how do you automate the process of getting people off the wait list and into the class when seats become available? Um, so that's a interesting case study, and that it poses the question: if you are a senior that needs this one class to graduate, and you're seventh on the wait list, and everybody in front of you is a freshman, do you get priority?
right. Yeah, makes sense.
So that's going to be our next case study. We've got everything you could think of, or I could think of anyway. If you got an idea and want us to write a case study on a particular industry, let us know. But we've got retail coming up. We've got government. We've got insurance. We got, just all kinds of things coming up at you. Like I said, we've got another 6 in the process. So January, February, March, just join us and we'll do the 10-minute thing. And then every once in a while, 2, 3 times next year, Van and I will be back
Hmm.
or I'll leave it to Van to do,
Sure. Yeah.
um,
He's one.
to do this 2 or 3 week, really explore, a particular case study and really look at, breaking it down, understanding it, prompt ChatGPT, and then look at those answers that we're getting back from ChatGPT, just like we did these past 3 weeks. Um, Check them for accuracy, appropriateness, use your business analysis skills to really analyze those results and say, am I going to use them? Several times I've said, never take the results that you get from ChatGPT and just hand them to your stakeholders without verifying them. You're not doing your stakeholders any favors if you do that. And you might be giving them bad, results, bad advice, and everything. So, you certainly want to use your business analysis skills and to verify the results you're getting back before you actually use them. All right. Thank you for
Yeah.
staying with us the extra 8 minutes. Appreciate it very much. Look for us again in 2026. We will not have a chapter meeting in December. If you're in one of our 3 cities near Kentucky, and that we have 3 cities: Lexington, Louisville, and Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, Greater Cincinnati area, which is where Van and I actually I live in Kentucky, just south of Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm about an hour north of Lexington. I'm probably going to go to both social events this year. So in December, we have a winter social, actually in person. Um, and that's what we do in December. So we'll do it in all 3 of our cities. Bill, that was just here, is the president of the Bluegrass IIBA chapter. He's actually in Louisville. So he hosts the event in Louisville. We got a person that hosted in Lexington and um, Northern Kentucky as well. And he's talking about Covington, Kentucky this year. So he's a barbecue place. Hey, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody here. I know where Stephen is. Come on over, Stephen. You'll have to fly.
I used to live in Columbus. I've
Did
never
you?
been to Cincinnati.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
You're
That's not
not
far.
far from Cincinnati. That's
No.
hour and a half, maybe.
okay.
Mhm.
So, Ahmed, are you in Jordan?
I'm originally from Jordan, but currently I'm in Qatar for work
Oh,
purposes.
Qatar. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're originally from Jordan. So I saw an Ahmed in Jordan, and I'm talking the country Jordan.
Mhm.
Um, you know, so Karen, where are you?
I'm actually in Jacksonville, Florida.
Hmm.
Okay, it'll be a long drive for you.
A very long drive.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
will
but
probably
but
fly
for
too
me,
because
but for you to reach me, it's gonna be a lot longer.
For sure.
absolutely. Thanks for hanging on, guys. Really appreciate you being here. Look for us in the future and that. Join our
Thanks a
chapter
lot.
meetings if you want that quick 10, 15 minute. Let's look at a case study and let's see what we can get from
Sure,
Gen
sure.
AI to assist us in our work. And then, like I said, Van and I will be back to do these prolonged um, exercises to, really break everything down and, evaluate and analyze what we're doing and what we get back from Gen AI.
Okay. I'll see
All
you
Yeah,
right.
then.
Thanks a
I'm
lot,
just,
thank you.
Aaron.
yes.
Thanks a lot, Aaron. I'm really happy to see your face, and of course, all other people from IIBA. I hope you can ask also. You can ask IIBA to what's the word I'm looking for, to organize much more webinars from IIBA,
Around
because
AI.
not just AI, around everything analysis,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm following with BMI. The amount of webinars, I could count them for you. They are around 15 just for November.
Hmm.
And I'm jumping from their webinars. They are just many of them are just 1 hour apart. But the frequency is so much high. They allow people to submit their ideas for webinars, and then they approve it for speakers. Like I can apply to speak, and they give me 1 hour time. So I hope IIBA can do the same for me. IIBA is the most prestigious institution related to business analysis,
Yep.
and
So that's
I'm
an
very proud.
interesting thought. So, yeah, I think IIBA really um, uses their chapters or relies on their chapters to provide those webinars. And even our chapter meetings you can think of as a webinar. It is to provide, some knowledge share, education on a specific topic, which is exactly what webinars do. So there is a page on the IIBA website under events that is chapter events, and you can find much more than 15 a month if you go to, many chapter events and everything. I mean, we
Many chapter
specifically
events.
do 5 or 6 a week or a month. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
That we do and everything. So we got lunch and learns that we do now, and all kinds of activities besides our chapter meeting. We also provide study groups for the IIBA certifications. Um, so a lot of activity. Bluegrass is one of the most active IIBA chapters in the network. So,
Yes,
but there
correct.
there are others that are, and like I said, you can find those. And then every once in a while, you will find a IIBA webinar. Some of them are members only, but some are open to the public as well. So let's go ahead and turn off